Hey, what's good, everybody? Happy Thursday already. This week has gone by pretty quick. Today, we're going to talk about the markets, give you an update for our clients. If you're watching this for the first time, this is really a client update to kind of keep all of our clients up to date on what's going on with their investments, their retirement portfolios, short-term, long-term, everything that may be involved in today's markets. If you are not a client, maybe you'll check us out, jazzwealth.com. Got a new little logo down here at the bottom over there. Yeah. Here's the thing. If you are a client of Jazz Wealth, we're working on a full personal finance class, and I want your input. If there's something in particular that you want us to cover in this class, it is being developed right now. It's currently 44 short videos that you can kind of control the speed and everything to teach you everything. We don't want to just help with your retirement accounts. We want to help you keep your dough straight as well. So I'm talking the very specific stuff that you will not find on YouTube, or you just weren't taught, So how much exactly to spend on a house, how to factor expenses for that, the rainy day fund. We're going to cover operating budgets, how to exactly budget, specifically how to budget for your category and make it specific to you. Debt, when to take on debt, how much, what good debt, bad debt is, how to pay off your debts, taxes, how to pay your fair share in taxes, your credit score, how your credit score works, all these false things that I hear people say about credit. We're going to talk about those specifically, how to improve your credit, preparing your credit for a large purchase, fixing errors on your credit report, passive investing, educational investing, family finance, how to buy a car, retirement investing. I could go on and on. You get the idea. We're going to include everything, but in a very specific way, because I'm able to do that. I post on YouTube. I can't get too general. I'm not really allowed to get too specific. So I'm sorry. I meant to say I have to be sort of general. I'm throwing all that out the window for these classes. It's just going to be for clients for now. I'm going to literally walk you through every single dollar that you have in your family's finances and tell you exactly what you should be doing with it, so we never have to guess, right? The goal is going to be to make you feel good about your finances because you understand exactly what's going on in those finances. So send me an email if you want. What could I include that you just are shaky on, you'd like a little explanation on? We'll put that in there for you if we haven't already covered it. And again, just for clients of Jazz Wealth, I'm not really, maybe we'll offer it in the future to the public, but for now, it is just something we want to do for you guys. So it's a work in progress. It's going to take a little bit of time. Bear with me. But you guys that are not clients and you're just here checking us out today, we are here to talk about the stock markets. So let's go into the stock markets. The Dow was higher by 238. The S&P added 18, and the NASDAQ 100 was higher by 34. Here's the thing, the thumbnail that you saw in the beginning. We're going to talk about how you see confidence in the markets. Today was one of those days where, yeah, the stock market was higher, but it wasn't one of those sexy days where we could say, oh, it's because this particular stock was higher or something really cool happened. This was kind of an across-the-board sort of just typical strong day where everybody dives into everything, and so we're going to go over that. And let's do that now. Let's go over to the charts. Here we go. So on the charts there, you see the S&P 500 still bouncing off the 200-day moving average. We've been talking about that over the past few days. So far, so good. But remember from yesterday's class, this is what they call time correction now. There will be up days. There will be strong down days. We're in that time correction mode where we're going to wiggle back and forth as everybody makes major decisions. Now, as far as today, almost every sector of the market was positive on the day, and by quite a bit. So it was actually fairly strong across the board. This is one of those days where the media, the financial news headlines, they have no real reason as to why the markets went up, because across the board, money came back into stocks in all the different sectors. So if we go through here, energy was the strong point. If you're looking at your investment portfolio today, energy is actually trying to break out of the range here. Let me see if I can go find one in particular. Maybe we'll go over here. So here's the energy ETF that we've been talking about a lot lately, hitting these highs, just kind of stuck at highs and stuck at lows. And we mentioned this day right here at the bottom where it poked through those lows and immediately snapped back. I think go back like 3 or 4 days on the day that this happened, and we talked about how important that was and how strong that will be for the short term. It's starting to prove itself here at least. I think this is the time where we see this thing get back on a nice little uptrend. We'll see, right? So far, so good. Everything we want to happen is happening. But that's just the energy sector. So we've got energy, anything specific to oil, oil services, the metals and mining sector. This is that on the screen. These are your gold miners, your silver miners, There's another energy ETF. Consumer discretionary products did well today. It's been a nice 2-day run. You can see on the chart there. There's the Dow. Home builders had a nice 2-day run as well. Retail stocks actually doing well. So you get where I'm going. Financials did well, the S&P. Transportation stocks, not a bad day. So you kind of understand what I'm saying here. It's not one of those exciting days where we can say, oh, the markets were higher because turns out companies are making a lot of money, or there's no real catalyst to say that what happened today is because of some new economic push or something that's going to make the economy just even better or make the stock market even better. So really just, to me, this is one of those days that's strong inside of our time correction. Just keep remembering that word, time correction. That's what we're going to have. Tomorrow could be a big down day. The next day or Monday could be a big up day. That's the time correction. I do not expect the markets to recover and head back to highs all in one fell swoop. I think it's just going to be a pretty consistent sort of choppy mess, really. So Chris is asking, with the recent volatility, does that mean you ride it out a little before changing allocations and investments? That means tiny changes. If any change at all in here, very tiny. So we use fractional shares here at Jazz Wealth, and we can adjust to the 10,000ths of a share. May sound like a little change, but I'll use the analogy that I tell a lot of our clients when they're considering joining us. What you're essentially doing is putting us as your cruise control. And so if you say, Dustin, drive this car at 80 miles an hour and don't let it go above or below 80, we're going to put our foot on the pedal and we're going to keep doing this. Now, as we come across a hill or something, we're going to have to press a little harder. As we go down a hill, we're going to have to ease up a little bit. And so those tiny little changes is what keeps you right at that 80 miles an hour or whatever speed you're trying to move at. So for now, if any changes, very tiny, just slight adjustments. What we don't want to see is you make a major adjustment, come to find out the market swings back, and then you readjust, and then it swings back down, and you get trapped in that sort of overactive trading. So very, very tiny adjustments. Jaron's asking about the price of oil in the next few months. We actually talked about that a while back. Here's this chart pattern that everybody likes to follow. The technical traders said, all right, we're pinching here. Everything's getting tighter. And as soon as it broke, we said if it broke above or below, that's where the big move would happen. And that's what's going on here. So in the meantime, energy, oil-related stuff keeps having these really good days. It's very, very sensitive to news. But I like the trend. I think the trend continues. I don't see any reason why any sort of global news or any sort of fundamental news that would change that. I think oil just keeps plugging along on its path. Oh, that's the chart there. So now you can see everything I was just talking about. Okay, so tomorrow's Friday. To wrap up the week, what we have here is any focus on what China does. This is the trade war that you're seeing, just the media doesn't want to call it that officially. So we're here. I mean, big deal, right? It doesn't make much of a difference how much each country wants to fight back and forth. Watch any history video on how two countries get together and talk about something. The end outcome is always that one party goes back to their country and says, we won. The other party goes back to their country and says, we won. So it's always going to be like that. It always has been like that, with the exception of Kennedy and, oh shoot, I can't think right now. The Russians, when Kennedy was negotiating with the Russians and totally threw them under the bus. Maybe that's a story we could share another day, but with the exception of that, that's what we're going to have. We're going to have this bickering back and forth. The reason the media is focused on it is because there's nothing else to talk about. No one stock, besides Facebook a couple weeks ago, is really doing anything exciting. It's business as usual. So don't let the financial media or the politic media, if you watch those channels, don't let them scare you. It's just the way the markets move. And the more you see it, the more you'll go, all right, this is just how the news cycle goes. Couple stocks in the news today. Advanced Micro Devices. This is one of the chip makers that you probably heard of them, AMD. They were upgraded by a big analyst firm, and they're just trying to get it off these lows here. The stock's down almost 20% since hitting those lows. It's kind of like the analyst diving in going, hey, we need the stock to bounce. Let's upgrade it. So Advanced Micro Devices up about 2.5% today. We pointed out energy already. That was the main focus today, was energy. It's not sexy. It's not exciting. It's not fun. But when energy sort of leads the way, it's just one of those days where the market plugs along and everything's cool with it. Chevron, I believe, was the leader in the Dow as the energy there. Yeah, 2.5% on the day. So that's pretty cool. Unrelated. Any thoughts on merchandise? I have a bunch of these shirts, man. I fell into this trap. I thought I was going to give out shirts. I actually have 228 coffee cups. If anybody wants a coffee cup, let me know. It's in the other office. We're building another studio over there. It's just an orange inside with a matte black outside, has the logo on it. I got all kinds of stuff, man. I've got shirts all up on the shelf there. Let me know, Chris. I'll send you something. Give me a size. Anyways, that's where I want to leave it, right? There's not much to talk about today. I don't want to lead you into thinking there's something that's going to happen or some major catalyst coming our way. That's pretty much it. I appreciate all of you guys that are watching here live. Those of you watching and after the fact, if you're a customer of Jazz Wealth, let me know. I want you guys to be so darn good with your finances that you have the answer for any financial question that comes up. My goal would be to put together this class so you don't need me anymore. That would be awesome if I could do that. Not awesome for me, but it would be cool if you could call and say, hey, here's what you taught me. I'm thinking about doing this. Does this make sense? And we go, yeah, of course it makes sense. So that's what we're building. Let me know anything I can add there for you. Got a couple good suggestions already, and we'll keep moving on. So Duran, you're up next. Be calling you here in just a minute, so look out for that. And have a great day, guys. Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday.